My name is Penny. I'm a professional counsellor and I'm here with Rosemary this morning, and we're just going to talk about a new initiative from Living Grace, something that has been laid on Rosemary's heart. So I'm just going to ask you a little bit about that. So can you tell me what's about to start?
It's a suicide bereavement support group. It's a group to help people who have experienced the suicide of someone they loved or cared about deeply, and need some empathy. There isn't a support group in Toowoomba at the moment. The closest one is in Brisbane. So it's something that's really needed. There's been a lot of suicides, especially with the drought in the rural areas. And I was approached by Facebook actually, asked if there was a support group, and when I went to look there wasn't. I just think it's something that's needed.
Yes, look, I agree, Rosemary, and I think in this time we certainly have had, it's been a really difficult time for many people, and it's been going on for a very long time, as you say, in the rural sector with the drought situation and the farmers. But I think in this time now with COVID, certainly the suicide rates are rising, and it's very concerning. So, this is a wonderful thing that you're doing, and I agree that I think just this face-to-face connection is something that's important. I do know that there are some sort of face-to-screen support groups, but my understanding is from the people that you've spoken to, that what they're really looking for is that physical presence, that gathering together.
It's something that still has a great deal of stigma attached to it. And people are unwilling to talk about it. People are scared of talking about it. And so it makes it very difficult for people to deal with the issue, because they don't feel they can talk about it either. So I think it's something that really needs to be brought into the fore a lot more. In Australia particularly, I think there is a real lack of understanding. I know from my family in England there is a much greater support system there, and I think it's really sad that we don't have that here.
Well, look, hopefully that will change, and my understanding is that we're beginning to understand the importance of what we call lived experience, where survivors come together and they share their lived experience. And my understanding is this is what we're about to begin here, so that we can actually gather together. And I believe that's been your history as well. That this is a lived experience for you. So this is really laying on your heart.
Yeah, it is. I was very blessed. My husband died by suicide 21 months ago, and I had wonderful support from my sons and their families, and I also had some very good friends who were supportive, but I know that's not always the case. So I didn't realise how little support there was out there, because I didn't go looking for it. I didn't realise until I was approached that there was so little support. And I think it's something we really do need to fix.
So it's really such an important ministry, and how wonderful that you're able to have this on your heart to share the blessing of that support that you received to others in need.
And I think something that was brought home to me really strongly, I did a suicide bereavement training course with a company from England. It was online, of course, and they pointed out that it's not just immediate family members who are affected, it's work colleagues, it's people who have just known the person in a very casual way, and it's the people who attend the scene, the paramedics and the police. It's much, much broader than we think about.
Sort of like a stone in a pond with the ripples.
With the ripples,
Yes.
And when you're in the middle of it, it tends to be all about you, you know, and it was a shock to me to think, gosh, I didn't think about all those people. Even with my own sons, initially, yes, I was very concerned for them, but then it became all about me, and I forgot that they were also
traumatised by the experience. Yes. So we could find perhaps that our, shall we say, target audience could be much wider
than we
expect.
Yes.
And I think too, with the grief and the loss of a loved one, it's so difficult anyway, but in this situation it's very complex because there's a lot of emotions that get mixed up in there. So
and you can go through 20 emotions in half an hour. And it is difficult, if you're in the middle of the shops and you're shopping quite happily, and then suddenly something triggers. Yes. And you have to dump your shopping and get out of there because you can't deal with it. So there are so many aspects to it. And as I say, people don't want to talk about it, so that makes it so much harder.
So we really want this to be a safe place where people can feel cared for and supported, and it's a safe place where people can talk about their experiences. Can you share a little bit, Rosemary, about when this is going to begin and something about the details?
The first meeting will be on Tuesday, the 18th of August, and then we're looking at the third Tuesday of each month. It will be here at Living Grace in the foyer, and from 2 till 4.
So once a month here at Living Grace at 90 Jellicoe Street, and we're beginning on Tuesday the 18th.
We are.
So great. Thank you, Rosemary.
You're welcome.